Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's video. We're going to have a look at the weather. It's 14 days for today's video. Day 10 will take us to the 4th of August. We'll be able to extend out beyond that with the excellent GFS ECM ensembles. Maybe I'll try to come for weeks. We'll have a look at CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. That gets us into 2nd half of August. I shall get on that for you in a moment. Just say that first. The video release today was our 6 AM UK weather forecast, and we've also released the detailed European outlook for the next week to 10 days. Check out those two bits if you'd like to do that. Like, share, and subscribe on all of today's videos and content. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that for GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much, everybody. Hope you're having a lovely, lovely, lovely Thursday. Right, let's start off with the central temperature. The CT is still sitting at 15.8, which is 0.2 degrees below the 61 to 90 average, but visual to yesterday, to the 24th of August. I think we're going to go a little bit above average with that. Going to go into 16s, I think, with the CT in the next few days during the final week of the month. And this is the reason why. These were GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. We're at Bristol today. The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Bristol. We're starting off above average with the upper air temperatures at the moment, which presumably will yield a tick up with CT tomorrow. We are going to go a bit cooler though over the weekend, but then next week, the last 2 or 3 days of becoming very warm. Actually, possibly by the middle of next week, quite hot down in the south. So that's going to get the CT into the 16s next week, I think. And then beyond that, we'll just hover very close to the long-term 30-year average through the first week into the 2nd week of August. No, we are going to get this warm up around the turn of the month, and then see the upper air temperature coming back down again. Precipitation-wise, lots of dry weather to come over the next week, possibly more unsettled through the first week of August. But of course, that is a long way off, and therefore unreliable. Temperature anomalies on the 25th of July, 2nd of August, just a little bit above average, not a big, particularly big deviation, but we'll be able to get that CT into 16s. And precipitation anomalies from the 25th of July, 2nd of August. Most areas coming out a bit drier than average, but one specific area that looks wetter, which is North Wales and the far northwest of England. Latest with that from earthnorthschool.net shows that we've got low pressure between Scotland and Iceland today, and a weather system coming across the country, introducing a fresher westerly flow behind it. Okay, let's start going for chart data. Let's have a latest UK Met Europe roads looking big night on Sunday. High pressure ridging up from the southwest, and then high pressure breaking to the east on Monday, bringing up some very warm, possibly quite hot air into south and southeast through the early part of next week. Some sort of weather system coming southward to east around the middle part of next week, for high pressure tries to build in behind it again, probably within a rather cooler, fresher air mass through the middle to 2nd half next week. But a lot of high pressure next week will bring about a fair amount of dry weather, you would have thought, across many parts of the country. Icon again building up that high pressure from the southwest on Sunday, and then high pressure dominates into Monday as well. Weather system coming into the north on Tuesday, still under high pressure though, further south, and then the high pressure sort of breaks towards the east around the middle part of the week. Very hot air, as we've been saying, sitting across France, Spain and Portugal, wanting to push northwards. So by the time you get through to this time next week, next Thursday, a bit of a thundery low is starting to develop across France with those hot upper air temperatures. It does look a little bit plumey there, I have to say, and maybe bring some thunderstorms into the south and southeast by next Thursday. Long way off though. The KMA again building up that ridge of high pressure from the southwest on Sunday. We go through into the beginning of next week. High pressure in the south, bit more unsettled though, this area of low pressure up in the north. Beyond that, just generally a little bit showery through days 7, 8 and 9 before high pressure then re-establishes again just beyond day 10. So we eventually get quite a nice ridge building in from the southwest with the KMA by when's that? That's the 6th of August. Right, moving on. GFS midnight run, once more building up that high pressure from the southwest through the last part of the weekend into the beginning of next week. A nice ridge through the country, Monday, Tuesday, Very hot air sitting just to our south, wanting to come at northwards. There's a thundery low starting to about around Biscay as well within that hot air by the middle of next week. That gets us really next Thursday, so slack gradients by then, looking quite hot for the first day of August down in the south. Before cooler, fresher air starts coming in from the west and from the northwest around days 8, 9 and 10. Beyond that, well, the ridge carries on in the south, bringing a lot of dry and warm weather there. Meanwhile, further north, looks a little bit showery with low pressure in the ascendancy. We get to the end of GFS midnight run, still looking mainly dry and warm down in the south, but will be cooler and more unsettled further north. And GFS 6Z, it's showing that high pressure once more reaching up from the southwest on Sunday. A lot of high pressure domination through the early part of next week as well. That gets through to the middle of next week. Slack grains, the thundery low sitting just to our south. Second half of next week starts turning cooler and fresher with low pressure coming in off the Atlantic, bringing showery conditions in with it and cooler temperatures. Day 10 finds us under a trough of low pressure. GFS 6Z once again. After that, high pressure re-establishes again down the south, bringing lots of dry and warm weather there. Meanwhile, further north, looks a little bit cooler and more unsettled. Getting through to the end of GFS 6Z run. The south still under this sort of ridge of the Azores high. The north still rather showery and a bit on the cooler side. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, subscribe. And show everyone for doing that. Drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our videos and content. Don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Get them to subscribe too. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. We are on the cusp with very, one or two either side of 18.6k. We need to get definitively into 18,600. So we need to put on around 10 subscribers, get to 18,610 subscribers. Then we will be definitively into 18.6k rather than, one or two either side. So if you could give us a sub, tell friends and family, tell everybody, tell your neighbour, tell your doctor, tell your vicar, tell your mother-in-law to subscribe. We need to put on 10 subscribers. Really gracious me. Bang the table, Gav. Ow, that hurt. So sorry, everyone. No, but we do need to put around 5 to 10 subscribers. Gets out definitively into 18.6k. You could give us a sub. It'd be incredible. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. That hurt, actually. That hurt my hand. I won't do that again. Right, GM. Once more, high pressure building up from the south. Oh, no. Nobody does it like Gav, you see. High pressure building up from the southwest through the weekend into next week. Very hot air sitting just to our south with a thundery low across parts of France. We don't really get that thundery stuff up to us, though, because we've still got this low in the Atlantic, and it just doesn't quite ease the hottest of the air and those thundery conditions up to us. Now, in the air, we just bring this low pressure in from off the Atlantic, turning cooler and more showery with that low around days 8, 9 and 10 with the gem. And then lastly, the ECM builds up the high pressure from southwest on Sunday, bring quite dry weather with it. High pressure breaks to the east through to Monday, drags up that southerly, now easterly flow. Very hot air sitting across France, of course, with this thundery low developing around France and Biscay as well. We just start to get a bit of an influence from that, perhaps by next Thursday, maybe bring some storms up from the south. Then it sort of drifts off, that thundery stuff drifts off to the east, and this low starts to deepen around Iceland. Oh, we end up looking like that. So just about hanging on to the ridge in the south, but a little bit more unsettled, cooler and showery up in the north. This is a precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from Meteo.com. Showery bursts to come from the north and west over the next few days, mostly dry though in the south and the east. Into next week, we've got a lot of dry weather to start off with under that ridge of high pressure. That keeps going into the middle of the week. When we do start to see some thunderstorms though coming up from the south, so around Wednesday to Thursday, is a suggestion there might be some thunderstorms there down in the south. And then we're back to drier stuff at the end of the week, probably fresher as well, before wet weather comes back into far north and west. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10. from the Icelandic Met Office. It gets us to the 4th of August. 29 members of the ECM ensembles, including the control and the operation run with low pressure deepening around Iceland, but high pressure ridges up from the southwest, keeping the mostly dry weather going into the south. But they've got 22, a significant minority that are a lot more unsettled with deep low pressure more or less over the top of the country. And so that would obviously bring cooler and more unsettled conditions. So in 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. Gets us to the 9th of August. 15 members of the ECM ensembles with a ridge building through the west of Europe. Should be plenty of dry and warm. Where with that 14 with a trot towards Scandinavia and a ridge out in the Atlantic. That looks a little bit showery. Got another 14 with high pressure just to our east. That will drag up a very warm, possibly hot southerly flow. And then we've got 8 just here with high pressure ridging over and to the east of the country. Again, that will be mostly dry. But a lot of those options have high pressure in control, actually, 2 weeks out, which is a bit of a flip on what the ECM has been showing, ECM clusters, I should say, been showing lately. So it is possible, but we might see quite a warm and dry first after August here. CFS V2 finally, these are 500 millibar high times breaking down into weekly periods. The first week period takes us from the 25th of July to the 31st. And the next week have low pressure to the north, high pressure that change colour will be to the southwest. And we bring the wind in even from a westerly direction. The end of week 2, which is going to be the 1st and the 7th of August. Much more unsettled then, low pressure just to the west of the country, bring the wind in from off the Atlantic, that's cooler and more unsettled. Week 3 will be the 8th through to the 14th of August with low pressure to the north, high pressure to the south, southwest, and winds coming in off the Atlantic. That keeps it a bit mixed, especially for the north. And then finally, week 4, going to be the 15th to 21st of August with low pressure again to the north, high pressure to the south. We keep wind in from the west. Basically the same pattern we've had all summer, still going on there into the second half of August, which brings the driest weather to the south, the warmest weather to the south, the most unsettled and coolest weather to the north. But hardly a heat wave anywhere because the wind fundamentally comes in from off the Atlantic. It does. Right, well, we're done. So if you've enjoyed the video, please like, share and subscribe. Remember, we're going to get to definitively into 18.6K. We need to put on 5 or 10 to really make sure we're there, not just 1 or 2 either side. So if you could give us a sub and tell friends, family, neighbour, doctor, auntie, vicar, mother-in-law and your your flight attendant to subscribe if you're going on holiday, then that'd be awesome. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. It's going to be slightly giddy on this one, maybe. I might be slightly giddy on this, I don't know. Right, well, anyway, we'll end it there. So tomorrow, remember, nobody does it like Gav. Tomorrow, we're going to have a 6 AM UK weather forecast on January, Friday, 10 to 14 day, and the ECM 42 day will be released tomorrow evening as well. That will get us into early September. Ooh, what a shocker. You enjoy the rest of your Thursday, and for this one, though, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.